Well, good evening, everybody. It's Friday the 13th, 2023, in January, first month of the year still. But I feel like this month is flying by. I don't know about you, Chris, but I feel like this month flies by. And for me, I don't know what it is. I feel like the summer, and I love the summer. So I love it being light out until 9:30 at night, and we can get stuff done. I definitely love that. But I will tell you, I always feel like once September hits and football season comes around, the football season just flies by. It feels like it is 4 or 5 weeks long, and here we are in the playoffs already.
Once you hit football season, it's, kind of downhill from there. The year's almost over.
Yeah.
You kind of just know.
You kind of just know that the holidays are coming and all of that is going on. First thing I wanna mention tonight is I want to thank everyone that watched the signing and everything and all the stuff we did on Wednesday for the Cougars, all the players that came out and did interviews, and everyone did a great job with that. And
that was
like
great.
I said, it was a great time. I had a blast being there, being around that team, the atmosphere. We were doing stuff where you guys didn't see, like the behind the scenes stuff that you guys didn't see is you're doing these interviews with the players, which they loved, by the way. I cannot tell you enough how much good things I heard. Hey, I love talking to Big B. What's his real name? Like, what's his story? They're asking me these questions about you guys. Like, they want to know about you,
cool.
Even though we want to know about them. And,
right.
Oh, Joanne, she's got an accent. Where's she from? James seems like he's just, he's the serious sports guy that likes asking the tough questions. And so they had a great time. And the things that you didn't see behind the scenes is, we needed to do headshots for the website. So I'm doing those. But while we're doing those, this is what I can tell you about this team. So I believe Big B asked me this while we were live there Wednesday, like, what's it like being around this team?
I asked everybody that all the returning players that they said that they played last year. I asked them exactly what I asked you. What was the atmosphere like from last year to right now? They all said the same thing, just like you said.
It's just like family, right?
Yep.
And let me explain a little more than that. What you didn't see behind the scenes, just to give you a little taste of what I'm talking about. Okay, really, like. Some of the returning players kind of remember me from last year because I was kind of around, but I wasn't really on the field. I was up in the stands. They don't really know who I am, right? They don't even know that we're the same people from last year. Like, that's kind of the thing. So really, some of them meeting me for the first time tonight or that night, right? I'm up there taking headshots, and they're up there going, well, we're taking their headshots. I mean, you only do that with people that you're comfortable around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially on the female side. Guys would do that with ever.
Exactly. But my point is they were so comfortable, and they were just they couldn't say enough good things about how we made them feel.
That's good.
And that to me was more important than anything else. Yes, I loved being there. I loved the coverage that we had, everyone that was involved, and I loved covering this team. And yeah, it's a job. And yes, it is. Let's face it. It is a job. We're asked to do a job, and we're doing it. But the way that we made them all feel is way above and beyond anything that we could ask for, honestly.
It's a fun job. It's not really work. It's just
we're living our dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it right on, Big B. I've always said that with this show, and I do feel that about this show. Like we on this show, we're all brothers. I mean, I anyone on this show would do anything for anyone else that they could. Absolutely.
And the thing is, I mean, I can now say yes. I mean, even though it's a women's professional league, they're classified as a pro team. I can say I have covered a professional football team.
Yes.
Or a sports team. I can't wait. I cannot wait for Cougars Den to start. I cannot wait for the season to start. Hopefully, I'm off on those games that we have highlighted or the schedule has highlighted for us, so I can join you, J-Mac, and watch this game and give a little insight from what I see. I can tell you right now, my favorite player, I mean, all of them are great. Don't get me wrong. T-Rex, they called her.
Yeah.
She's a beast. I am going to focus on her and just watch her manhandle the offensive line. I mean,
and then let me tell you this. I will tell you, you got to meet her through the screen and you saw her personality.
Yeah.
More than that, those women respect her so much.
Oh, yep.
I mean, everyone's trying to do their own thing. They're all trying to talk. She stands up and they all just look like she has something to say. We're going to listen to what she has to say.
She honestly looked like she was 6'2", 6'3".
I don't think she's quite that tall. She probably.
But I'm just saying, that's what she looked like when she came up to the camera. I'm just like, gosh, she's like 6'2", 6'3", 280, 300 easy. And there's no way I would mess with her.
I bet you she's every bit of 5'10", 250 without question. And
then the other lady too. I'll have to go back and get the names, but we talked to one for quite a bit. She had her wife come on too after. She's another one too. She's another one too. One of the veterans that just scares me. I mean, she's another one I'm going to be watching too. I think she was another lineman. I think we talked to a lot of linemen.
We did.
Women, but yeah, they're hyped. I can't wait for the season to start.
It's gonna be that
fun.
Was
one thing all the girls said is that they're hyped. They know what they got going on, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I completely agree.
They're a good team. They came close last year.
They are going to be a good team. They were 3-3 last year as an expansion team.
And I think did Chuck Hoffman say they're the highest ranked ever expansion team
of all time? And the WFA, by the way, has been in they've been in business as the WFA since 2001. 21 seasons. 21 seasons they did
a barnstorming tour because my aunt was a part of that, and then and that was Minnesota Minks or Vixens. I'm sorry, Vixens, and the Lake Michigan Minks, which are no longer around. But this watching. Like I said, I was getting hyped for them. Everybody I talked to, they all had the kind of like the same stories. Wanted to play, or some of them I should say wanted to play in high school, but couldn't because women don't do that. But this person found me at the gym, or I think one girl got asked to play because she looked fit and was at a grocery store or at a job or something.
I think she was doing deadlifts or something like that.
The women are asking these girls all over the place.
Right.
It's not just their friends. They bump into something like, "Hey, do you play football? Do you want to play football?" I mean, so. And even talking to the GM, I mean, he's pumped. His wife is, sidelined this year for personal reasons, but they're going to be there. I can't wait. This is probably my second favorite team in football.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, and I want to say this because you hit on something I wanted to talk about, Big B, real quick. And I want to tell you, and Mess Around's joining right now. We'll get his opinion also on this, but I will tell you that someone who said something to all of us that kind of cut like a knife, and I'll say that, is that we're not legitimate because we don't cover pro sports teams because we don't have the college education to do it. Well, guess what? Here it is. We are covering a professional sports team, and if you don't like it, don't watch.
Yeah, exactly.
This is something, and Mess Around, thanks for joining the show. Mess Around's here with us for anyone listening. Mess Around I know.
Guys,
I know this is gonna sound maybe premature, but we made it, guys. We're covering a professional sports team.
And it doesn't matter the level. It could be semi-pro, whatever level. It's still a pro team.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a different level, a different skill set.
And the thing is, I mean, this could break off to where, we're doing our shows and stuff, and, let's say Dallas team catches on, or, the Minnesota Minks or Vixens or a Minnesota team reaches out and says, Brandon, hey, we like what you do, come aboard us. This is where it starts. I mean, it would be a tough decision for me to make. I mean, to go cover them like J-Mac do the play-by-play, but hey, opportunity knocks. I'm not saying that's what I'm looking for, but we just don't know where this journey is going to go.
Absolutely. And even more than that, even more than the stuff here, and it's something I mentioned, I'll mention it live on the show for anyone that didn't catch it on Wednesday, didn't catch what we're talking about. Remember that they signed a 5-year agreement to do an international game in Costa Rica every year for 5 years.
Yep.
Think about how big that's going to be.
Yep.
Now you're not just talking. Now you're not just talking coast to coast entertainment. Now you're talking worldwide.
Yeah.
You're talking prestige worldwide.
Yeah.
boats and O's.
And even Chuck laid out his 5-year plan, and his plan is to be in the back and hopefully having an all women's coaching staff. So he's got goals too that he likes.
It's something that he hit on also that we were there when we were there on Wednesday. He is the owner on paper.
Yep.
But he wants to he wants to sit up. He told me, and these are the words from his mouth. He wants to be able to sit up in a press box, whether it'll probably be on our side. Let's face it. He probably wants to sit with us. Okay. But he wants to be able to sit in a press box or go down on the sidelines and just be the owner of the team.
Yep.
Just watch. He wants to be that Jerry Jones figure that just watches the game.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be down there coaching. Not that he doesn't want to. I mean,
it's probably because he's been doing it for so long.
Right, but he sees a vision for this team.
But that's also with these lower level teams, and it's nothing against them, but you're starting out small, a small organization, so you're having to do, multiple jobs.
Got to start somewhere.
Right.
We all don't know anything about that on this network, do we?
Yeah. And the thing is, some of the girls we interviewed too came from other teams, and so we asked them, what was the mindset of that team compared to this team that you've seen? And again, it came back to organization, fun, family. Chuck is like, most of their dads or grandfather, big brother. That's what Chuck is to them.
And I'll give you a little more on that. When he was speaking to the team, he told them, these are the rules. We travel as a team. We stay in the same hotel. We do all this. But he went a step further than that. And you don't hear a lot of head coaches like this. Or head coaches, yes. You don't hear a lot of owners like this, though. So as an owner of a team, he told everyone in that room, including us, by the way. So just know that this is his rule if you go to a game. If you're expected to be in the hotel and you want to go sightsee, he has no issue with that. But you have to tell him where you are because he's a dad and he's going to send a search party if he does not know where you are.
No, I think a lot of teams do that. I mean,
every person, including us, he said the same thing to us. If you're there and you're supposed to be in the hotel, please let me know if you leave so I know you're okay.
Well, and that's just anything. I mean, just look at what happened in Minnesota before the Giants game. There was a mass shooting but there was a shooting at Mall America. A lot of the Giants players were there.
Heard that,
right.
Sightseeing or not. I mean, he just wants to make sure everybody's safe. I get that. No problem. I don't think that's
I can understand
hard
that,
rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to go off about the Cougars for 15 minutes, but we could literally sit here and talk about them the whole.
Oh, I think we owe it to them. I mean,
we could.
yeah.
Like we could sit here and talk about this, but we do have other stuff to cover.
Yeah.
That is our job also, is to cover other stuff. So real quick, I want to talk on Major League Baseball. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, just because we're getting close. I believe it's February 3rd that most pitchers and catchers have to report to most teams, and so
it's more mid-February, ain't it?
I think
at the beginning. I think at the beginning of February.
For what, pitchers and catchers?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of February is when people start showing up,
conditioning, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think the official date for most teams is till mid-February.
What I read was the first one at the beginning is for the players that are going to be in the World.
I just looked up. It says mid-February.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the beginning, it's for those players that are in the World Baseball Classic. They will show up first.
Yeah. Anyway, my point was we're coming up on that time very, very quickly. And the one off-season story that we can talk about that's been the bizarrest story in the history of the off-season is a guy who combined for this off-season signed 31 years and $865 million worth of contracts in this offseason and ended up back with the same team he was with last year for less money than he signed with all the other teams.
And he said he always wanted to play for Minnesota or something like that.
Well, and the thing is to be fair, he said that quite a bit in a lot of interviews towards the end of that. I want to be here. My family likes it here. But what shocked everybody is he came out and said, I like to go to the mall. If I want something, I'm going to buy it. I'm a product. They're going to have to do that. So however the drama felt, I mean, I would have been okay if he would have walked, but I want him here. I think he's a decent bat. I mean, again, Twins still need pitching. So, we're not going to go anywhere without pitching.
You're right. Can he pitch?
True story.
He can try. I mean, why
not? That's awesome. So I have another announcement to make. All the guys here know it already. I've put it in the comments as well. Starting in the spring, and I don't have a definite date. I will get you that date when I have it. We will also be covering the Eugene Cornhole League. And so that's here locally in Eugene, Oregon, but they have some big tournaments here all over the Pacific Northwest, and we're hoping to accompany them along with those. So check out Coast to Coast on that. Like we've been telling you, I know you've been waiting. As fans, I know you've been waiting. I know you've been along on this ride with us, and you've been waiting for us to make these announcements, and they're finally here. And so we're covering the Oregon Cougars. We're excited for that season. Now we have the Eugene Cornhole League, and we're going to cover that. We have a couple other things in the work that I'm waiting to finalize. I'm not going to announce those yet because I want to finalize them first. But it's here. The time is here. The time is now to jump on board with Coast to Coast before we get big. Because if we get big and you jump on, we're going to call you a bandwagon fan. Because that's just don't do that. We don't want bandwagon fans.
And that's the thing is, we're not going to blow smoke and announce something and not come through with it. That's why we're trying to finalize everything. I mean,
it takes a lot of work, getting everything together.
Chris, I'm glad you said that because people, I don't think
J-Max is procrastinator.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I know that. We can have a good time on this show too. Yeah. We can. It's all in good fun. But I don't think the average person obviously doesn't know what it takes. I mean, you're talking about sending out 30, 40, 50, 60 emails a day.
I don't even know what you do to get this shit going. Props to you, bro.
Emails, phone calls, and you're talking about doing that 30, 40, 50 times a day, and you're getting one reply out of those. And then out of that one reply or two replies that you're getting, you're hoping to get an actual human on the other side and not just a bot giving you an answer.
Yeah.
And so it does take work. I mean, you're talking 49 out of 50 people rejected your first email and didn't even read it. People, oh, I'll get you to our promotions department. They're not going to, the promotions department doesn't want to hear from you.
Yes, too, to talk to a human.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. I mean, it's not easy to do. And now that we're finally doing it, the Cougars will be huge for us. I mean, just in one night, okay, I met a doctor who's going to be their team doctor. Think about that. I met a doctor. The GM is like the assistant sheriff of the sheriff's department for all of Lane County. So met him. One of the other guys is the head chef at one of the big restaurants here. Like the networking you can do with these people and get your name out there even more is huge. And that's
also the big thing too, is the networking. That's also the big thing.
Well, too. It is. It's all about networking. I mean, exactly what it is. I mean, look at, just our connections alone got us to stream OVW wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget about Eleanor and Creeping It Real. I mean, that's something that we wouldn't have that show if we didn't have networking and people reaching out and talking to people. Like we had Sunday Spin for a while. I think they'll be back next year. I'm not sure, but anyway, we did have them for a while. You think of all the stuff we've done. That doesn't just happen with a Facebook message that's like, hey, you want to do this? I mean, it takes some work. And so let me so I want to bring this up real quick. You guys will see this soon. I will have this out. This just tells you how many things I have on my plate. This tells you how many things I'm working on at the same time. I've decided that since I am no longer in retail and I won't ever work in retail again, let me rephrase that. I'll never work in retail again. So that doesn't mean that someday I won't buy a business and be the owner, because that might happen.
But you won't be the employee working.
But I won't be the one there every day working on everything. So
right.
So with that said, I'm telling you all that I am currently writing a book as well.
Wow.
And I'm working on the name, but right now the working title is Everything You've Ever Wanted to Know About Retail and Some Things You Didn't. And so that's currently what I'm working on. I'm through a few pages. I go back and edit it. I'm very hard on myself when I'm doing that. Everything's got to be pristine, and I have to use the right words, and I can't use words, like and but, and I have to find other words for this. God, I know. Trust me. And I have to make sure all my punctuation's right, and I have to, because nothing I do, I don't want to do it half-ass. I don't want to do that.
No.
And so, and am I looking to get rich off this? No. It's just something that I want to do, and I'm going to do it. And that's, I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, and not to go off and try to be one myself, but I will tell you what a lot of their message is the same thing. It's the power of positive thinking. It's not thinking about what you didn't accomplish today. It's thinking about what you did. So you put your mind to something and you ended up doing it. And so look at that versus what you didn't get done today, or look at what you have versus what you don't have. A lot of people don't get. For sure. I mean, you've already said it a couple of times, Big B. How many people legitimately in this country can say they have gotten to cover a professional sports team?
Yep.
What percentage of people in America can say that?
It's really less than 1%. I mean,
less than 1%. And guess what? We're now part of that less than 1%.
Yes, sir.
And so that's something to think about. The next time you're on a down day, you're like, you know what? This day sucks. But guess what? I get to cover a professional sports team. Like to me, that's crazy to even think about. All the humble beginnings you have, and
Especially
it's
when
insane.
you're a little kid and you dreamed about doing that since you were a kid. So
Like my dream was to play in the NFL, and I'm telling you that your chances of playing in the NFL are not very good anyway, because you're talking about going from you could be the star of a high school football team, and I once saw the statistics. I think there's something like 12,000 high schools in America that have a football team, something like that. So all those players from 12,000, of the ones that get a D1 scholarship, that's 117 teams. So now 12,000 teams go to 117.
Yep.
And then of those 117, you're talking 32 NFL teams.
Yep. With
So
seven
really,
picks a year.
with 7 picks each. So what, 268 approximately picks every year. So 286 kids out of an original 12,000. So there's 50 guys on a team. You're talking what, 60,000, 600,000 players in America, and 287 of them get a chance to play in the NFL every. What's the percentage on that? Not very good.
There's a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance. Exactly. And you could look at it another way. What's your chances of ever getting to cover a professional sports team as a sports podcaster?
Probably got a
Not
better
very-
chance of getting struck by lightning.
Exactly my point. So we
Probably.
Or winning the napping competition. I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
like think about the things we have gotten to do, and so that would just be my message for everybody. Think about everything you do have and everything you've gotten to do today that other people can't. And so just change your mindset. Change your mindset. You'll be way better off in your life. I guarantee you that. All right. So the segment I said I was going to bring up, it's just kind of a funny one. And I don't want to go through all of them because there's a list of like, I think the list is about 200. It's a list of about 200 things long, so I don't really want to go through all of them. I just want to go through some funny ones. So what I want to go through is, so it's 283 rejected custom license plates in the state of Oregon. I didn't know the DMV could reject your license plate if you put in for a custom one, but they can.
Wow.
I would assume all states can. I mean,
I'm sure all states can. So let me just read a few that are probably the best ones I've seen. There's one that strictly is boobies. That they said no, that's not going to happen. There's one 69, 69, 69. They said yep, nope.
Yeah.
There's one right. There's one that says F you pigs.
See how quick you pull over having that plate.
Right. That got rejected.
I could see why.
Right. Let's look at some of the other ones. Get some other good ones here. This one would be right up Randy's alley.
I got long hair and I like it.
Oh no! It's BIGCOX. Big cocks got turned down.
Plastered that on his forehead.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, some of these are hilarious. I was like, who would have even thought of these license plates? It's just, it's good to know they can get rejected. That's for sure. PUSSY 69, that got turned down as a no, probably more like a hell no.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna try and get away with that? Get out of here.
I bet you there's ways around it though. I mean, you could probably use the dollar signs there, and
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
You probably could.
you know,
So this person actually wrote RD head, so roadhead.
It's the best kind.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm sure none of us know what that is like anymore.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
wait till you get it, Chris. It's amazing.
Right. Don't forget, ladies. Chris is a single man. He's single and ready to mingle. Let's do a few more here. Man, none of these are like super good. I mean, they're I can't believe people tried these. Some of these. I heart gilfs. That one's kind of interesting. Who would actually put
See you, but okay.
that? Right. Let's see what this person tried. Yeah. SCK me.
I wish somebody would.
That got
Please.
rejected. Right. That got rejected. People get creative with some of these. I'm like, really? These who even would think of some of these to try? A couple more. Oh, here's one. Ass man. Like literally just spelled out ass man. They said no. This one is actually quite clever. It's VBR8R. I'll let you think about that one for a minute. V is in Victor, B is in boy, R8R.
It's not. Once you say it, it's not coming to me right now, but I'll get it.
So that would be an acronym for vibrator. And that
Got
was
it now.
Yeah, that was a no. That didn't work. So those
I
are
got I got a couple from Texas.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
One was Whoa Mama.
Mama.
Let's see.
Well, we know anything with Cowboys, they'll pass through. So
Yeah, I know. Jerry Jones is telling them they have to put it through.
I'm trying to look at some. Not good ones, I guess, but that was only.
well, yeah, because Dallas ain't thinking too hard to think about the Cowboys. Not thinking about license plates.
Speaking of Dallas, I shared that thing on the chat earlier. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I know that it's a joke, but it's funny. It's just
It is
funny with Dak Prescott and saying how the NFL shouldn't schedule wild card games on Monday because I have a cruise scheduled next Sunday and I have to have 7 days to cancel it. And
We'll get you canceled.
well, the joke is that he's not going to have to worry about canceling it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just funny.
You know, the funny thing is, when I first read that, instead of cruise, I thought it said curses. I thought it said I have curses on Monday night games. And so I had to reread it quick. I'm like, what? And then I read it right the second time.
Yeah, he has a voodoo doll of Tampa Bay, and
Yeah. Well, Brady hasn't lost to him yet, Chris.
oh, I know.
It's true. Yep. All right. Anyone got any therapy or anything while I step off frame here for just a second?
Oh, therapy.
Yeah.
No, not. I mean, not nothing we've ever. I mean, we've always talked about it. Is how your significant other when something doesn't work expects you to fix it, and when you say you can't, then she's like, "Well, you got to figure out some way to do it." It's just like, okay, I'm not. Like recently, one of our ceiling fans works, but the light part doesn't work. Yeah, so she's like, "Well, you need to fix it." I'm like, "I'm not touching electrical stuff. Plumbing, I'll give a shot." But she's like, "Well, don't you think it might just be an easy wire or something?" I was like, again, out of my forte. I'm not going to mess with electrical stuff. I understand, easily go turn the power off to it for the circuit breaker, but no, I'm not touching nothing electrical.
Yeah, like I'll turn the light switch on and off, but that's as far as electrical I'm going.
Yeah. And the thing is, it could be just a simple, like you said, a simple wire got loose, but
But then you have to shut the power off and hope you
Yeah.
don't get.
Nope,
Yeah.
I'm not a trained electrician.
No.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I got one for any of the younger viewers that might be watching us. Any of the let's say that any of the teenage crowd that might be watching us. If your parents ask you a question, they already know the answer before you answer them.
Yeah.
So just trying to say it wasn't me, or I don't know what happened, or
I don't know what you're talking about.
just know that they know you're lying. And
Yeah.
here's the novel reason why they know you're lying. Do you all want to know? Because I can tell you here's how they know you're lying. And Brandon and Mess Around, you both know this one already. Why you know your kids are lying?
Body
It's
language.
because
Their lips
No,
are moving.
it's because when you were their age, you told your parents the same exact lie that they just told
Oh
you.
yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's how you know they're lying. And they don't I know that they can't believe that you were once a
And the
kid.
best one is they're like, I didn't do that. That was Dave. Or that was Nicole. I didn't do that. Was her.
Right. I don't know if have I ever told you guys the hot chocolate story with the dog?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So we had bought a carpet because we have hardwood floors. So we bought this carpet to try to make it a little warmer on our feet in the living room.
Okay.
And hot chocolate got spilled on the carpet. Now, my dog was a puppy at the time. So yes, he there's things that he would destroy, of course.
Mhm.
So we asked who got the hot chocolate, and the answer we got was, well, the dog spilled it.
Well, that's not your
And
answer.
then some speechless.
Right. So you guys know how I am, and I don't really beat around the bush, and I don't sugarcoat things because I'm not Willy Wonka. So I said, oh man, I'm going to be rich tomorrow. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I have a puppy that can climb up on the counter, get on top of the refrigerator, open the cupboard, take the hot chocolate out, put it in a cup, put the cup in the microwave, stir it up with a spoon, carry it into the living room, and spill it on the carpet.
I would have
And you
said the exact same thing.
And you can imagine being teenagers, how they took that. Oh, shut up. You're just being ridiculous. And I'm like, no, actually, you're being ridiculous because I know that that's not how it happened.
But the first
Like-
person that speaks up is probably the one that did.
Like most, okay, did the dog spill it? Probably, but he's not the one that got it out of the cupboard and had it in the first
Well, yeah,
Sure
that's not what you asked.
I know. I you know, wait. So, question for the room, and really, this is towards Big B and Mess Around. Give me your honest opinions. Were we honestly this bad as teenagers? I have to know. I have to know if we were really this bad.
For me, no, because my parents knew where I was all the time. I was in my room playing video games 90% of the time when I did.
Big B, what's your take?
I don't think I'm kind of like with Messon. I don't want to use the lazy aspect, but I was either in my room playing video games or I was out I mean, my mom knew where I was all the time. I mean, yeah, did I cause trouble? Of course I did. Did I try to hide some of it? Of course I did. But when it came to simple stuff like that, I remember one time, and I still don't think I did this unless I did it in my sleep. But my mom went to go turn on the oven one day, and there was a Tupperware bowl or lid in there with French fries on there, and
I
she
don't know why
melted it.
that's funny. I don't know why that's
No.
funny. Just French fries.
It is. You're right. So my mom starts yelling at me. I'm like, Mom, I did not do this. And she's like, well, you had to. Nobody else would have done this. I'm like, well, my sister could have. Crystal. She's like, no, Crystal wouldn't have done this. I'm like, I don't know. I literally, it's a question that doesn't have an answer because I know I did do. I would honestly frozen microwave. I would have thrown French fries in the microwave, even though they're going to come out soggy. That's what I would have done.
So I got another story. We were, I think, so it was me and my cousin and my brother and my other cousin. They were closer. Two of them were closer in age. My brother and my younger cousin were, and then me and my older cousin. And we decided that we were going to, because the trucks were always dirty. We grew up in the country, right?
Yeah.
So we were going to write curse words on the side of the truck from the dirt that was on the side of the truck, right?
Yep.
So you're like 9-10 years old, so you're writing the best ones, you're writing shit and well, we thought we were clever, right? So both my dad and my uncle already knew who did it. Okay, they knew that us older boys were the ones that had did it. But to make it look like they were actually asking everyone, they called us in the house. And they said, we want you to write on a piece of paper these words. So my cousin and I devised this plan that we were going to misspell shit on purpose on the paper. We were going to write it SIHT just because we think our parents are stupid, right? So we're going to write it that way. So we both write it that way. And they both look at it and they're like, you misspelled the word. And my cousin's like, well, that's how we spelled it on the truck.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, yeah, that's how we. No, well, we didn't write it on the truck, though. Like, I thought about it after he said it. So it's just those things you do as a kid. Like, yeah, I think we caused trouble, right? Like, I remember we all went into a cornfield once, and you're talking right before harvest time, so it's brown, that brownish color. You know what I'm talking about, Big B, right? And from being from Minnesota, I'm sure, Chris, you've seen the farms. Mess around even knows, I'm sure. Right before you go to harvest it with the combine, and that color that it is, right, the stalks. Well, we decided we were going to go play football in the cornfield that was ready to be harvested. And we're going to play tackle football in the cornfield.
Oh, no.
All of us cousins. Well, we're in the cornfield. Of course, no one can see us in there. Well, we decide that we're going to tackle the little ones really hard. So we tackle them really hard, and we end up falling out of the cornfield into the ditch.
Ooh.
At the same time that my dad and my uncle happened to be driving by in the pickup.
Oh, no.
I think I got my ass whooped 4 times that day because we ruined about $500 worth of corn. Again, we caused trouble, but it wasn't. The best way I can describe it is this. I will actually read this because I saw this the other day, and it actually made me think a lot of actually all 4 of us, I think, minus Chris, just because I've never heard him really talk this way. So
right.
Don't think that I'm leaving you out with this.
No, I know. Right.
I definitely think the rest of us kind of feel this way, and I gotta find it now. It's not. Mess around. What'd you do as a kid? Is there any stories you want to share?
He's still.
I don't know. I think he fell asleep. Anyway,
Probably.
Yeah.
So here I found it.
Uh-huh.
It said, "I may say fuck a lot, but I have manners. I never use people. Don't lie. Don't steal. I'll be the first one to stand up and let an elderly person have my seat. I'll go out of my way to be good to those who are good to me. So if swearing makes me a bad person by your standards, then I guess so fucking be it."
There you go.
And I could say, I think that's kind of us as kids. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you agree, Big B? Like, yeah, we caused trouble and we said some bad words, but really we were taught respect. Like if
Yep.
you're sitting and an elderly person walks in the room, you get up, you sit on the floor, and they get your seat.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's the way we were raised.
Yep. Well, and still that's, trying to install that in, J-Mac and mess around. Definitely probably trying to install that in your kids.
For sure.
My son yesterday, was it yesterday? Let me think, Wednesday. Yeah. No, Wednesday, a couple days ago. So we're sitting to get some chicken for my poker party. Elderly lady's in front of us. She's getting her order. Well, she ends up going to grab her mashed potatoes and gravy. Well, she couldn't handle it, and it slid down the case and onto the ground. Didn't bust open or anything. So she's like trying to bend over, and I'm like, "Jackson, pick this up." Okay, yeah, no problem. Helps her out, and the lady said thank you. He said no problem. That's what I'm here for. So, that's one thing that I think a lot of kids could learn. There's a lot of manners, all around. I mean,
Mhm.
even to this day, I mean, it's just one of those things, if I'm out shoveling, I'll go shovel the neighbor's yard, or driveway. They're an elderly couple, that's just stuff I've learned,
Yeah, for sure. Completely different generations, and even my mom. I'll even talk to mom about stuff sometimes, and she'll tell me, you did, you and your brother and your sister put us through some hell. You did.
Oh yeah,
all kids do.
Yep.
She said, but I'm honestly glad that I got to raise you in the generation I got to raise you in, because I couldn't imagine dealing with the Wi-Fi fits and the you can't say that to me and I have rights and I can be whatever I want to be. If I want to identify as a cat tomorrow, I can, and you can't stop me.
Yeah.
She just said that she's so glad she didn't have to deal with that in our generation.
That's the problem. We're not allowed to beat them these days.
No shit.
Well, not beat
Right.
them, but spank them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just saw a video on TikTok before the show. Yeah, I watch TikTok sometimes.
I do too.
So whatever. Anyway, that it said Generation X parents didn't mess around. And so it shows this mom talking to her daughter, and she's like, "What's the problem?" And the daughter says, "Well, I'm just mad because you didn't get off your lazy fat ass and charge my Nintendo Switch today." That's today's generation. Then it showed a Generation X kid saying the same thing. And then the next clip is you opening your eyes in the hospital and your mom going, "Oh, Pumpkin, are you okay? Yeah, I guess you won't ever do that again, will you?"
Right.
Because that's how it would have been.
True story.
Yep.
And I think I saw a video kind of the same situation or similar, where it's like, when your kid's being back, don't take away their electronics. Just take away their charger so you can watch it die and they can.
I completely agree.
Oh yeah.
Do what we do. We are able to change the internet on their devices all we want to. So we can give it 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
Oh, nice.
So if we ask them to do something and they don't, we don't say anything. We don't yell. We just go on our phones because we can control it all from our phone. And we just turn their internet off in their room. And then we count. And when they come out, we don't yell. We just, why is my internet off? Well, maybe think about the stuff you were supposed to get done, and then it's the
Yep.
but it makes him do it.
Whoa.
So it's
I
one
like
way
that.
to do it.
Yep.
So a couple of funny things here to lighten the mood a little bit. I think I shared this one earlier, but it's still funny. It says, "Why do men hate celebrating their birthday so much?" And that's a woman asking. And the guy says, "Because we're tired of receiving socks from people who expect boat cruises from us."
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. And then another one. A man brings his buddy home for dinner, unannounced. You know where this is going. Unannounced at 7 p.m. after work. His wife begins screaming at him and his friend, and his friend sits and listens. Wife, my hair and makeup are not done. The house is a mess. The dishes aren't done. I'm still in my pajamas. I can't be bothered with cooking tonight. Why in the hell did you bring him to this house? Husband, well, because earlier he told me he was thinking of getting married, and I told him that I'd promise him a demonstration.
That's a good one.
Oh God, that one's good.
That is a good one. I like that one.
Here's one I saw earlier. My ex once said that they couldn't live without me. I still found out that they're still alive. God, just more lies that they told.
Yeah.
This one is for mess around because I could see mess around left, but I could see him doing this one. I could see him pulling this one off. Life hack: tell your boss you left your charger in your car, and when you get there, just go home. Remember, having sex on a regular basis helps keep your memory alive. Guys, I really hope your 2016 is awesome. Yeah, we got to be able to laugh in life, right?
Yep.
I agree.
And then this one I saw. This is an exchange from an old, what we call an old married couple. That'd be any of us now, right? Me and Big B at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
She says, "What are you doing?" The guy says, "I'm in bed eating chips." She says, "Oh, what would you be doing if I was there with you?" I'd be eating my chips. She says, "No, I mean if there were no chips, just you and me in bed." Oh, I'd get out of bed and go buy some chips. Tell me that's not funny, because
That's funny.
how true is that, Brandon?
Yeah. It's I don't know what is worse is deep cleaning your teeth or trying to get your lady to do something in bed. I mean, God, it's just
Right?
Chris. Once you get to that point, it's just gonna be hard, bud.
Rodney Carrington said it best. Like, Rodney Carrington's a brilliant man. Okay,
Oh, he
really
is. He's hilarious.
because he says it's just easier to take care of it yourself.
Yep.
You take care of it, you go out and mow. It's just easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's just that much easier. And the last one we're gonna say before we go around the room and get final thoughts here. Al Michaels. God love Al Michaels. Al Michaels is awesome, by the way.
I like him. Yeah.
They asked him how he felt about Thursday night football this year. Did you guys see this one?
I saw the quote. I can't remember about it.
And he said, "Well, we're making the most of it. I mean, you just can't oversell anything. Do you want me to sell you a 20-year-old Mazda? Because that's basically what they're asking me to do."
Ouch. I mean, he's not wrong, but still, ouch.
No, he's not wrong. Not at all. Any final thoughts? Chris, what are your final thoughts tonight?
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Thank you guys for watching the Oregon event yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. But playoff football is here. Good matchups, and it's going to be a fun weekend.
All right, Big B.
Yeah, thanks for joining, watching. If you guys haven't seen it, go back, check out Wednesday's special on the Oregon Cougars we had. Got to meet a lot of the great women. Got to meet the coach, talk to J-Mac a little bit about it. Can't wait for that season to start. Tune in Sunday morning for our morning tailgate, the playoff edition. We're going to hand out some great awards to off this past season and give our playoff predictions and stuff like that. So, and I got a lot to say about the Lovie Smith firing. So check that out Sunday morning.
All right, thanks for that, and definitely check that out. It's going to be a great episode. Can't wait. It's gonna be a great episode. Make sure you tune in and watch that, and watch all the great shows coming up this week. And don't forget, in February we're going to be debuting In the Den with the Cougars. It's going to be all Cougars for the entire show. So we'll be talking about all of that. I'm gonna leave you with this before I do my final my final saying like I always do. If your coworker asks you why you call everyone fucker, just tell them because it's 2023 and it's gender neutral.
I don't think that'll go past my job, but that is a good one.
That is a good one. All right. Well, we thank you all so much for watching and listening. We're going to do this out with you. Lifelong dreams being lived in front of your very eyes, and even more now with the Oregon Cougars involved in. So
Yes.
we do this all for you. Make sure you watch us and listen to us however you get your local podcasts. Check out everything great about Coast to Coast. Well, nothing left to say other than we'll see you all on the other side.